You never have enough, do you? No matter how much comes in, it feels like it's already gone. It feels like you're running a race where the finish line keeps moving farther away, and you're doing it all alone. You check your account, you do the math again, but the numbers don't seem to match the anxiety you feel inside. This isn't just about paying bills. This is a weight you carry every single day, from the moment you wake up to the moment you finally fall asleep. It's the quiet dread that sits in the back of your mind, even on good days. This feeling, it has a name, but it's not poverty. It's not just being broke. It's a distinctly modern kind of pressure. A feeling of being constantly behind, no matter how hard you work. You follow the rules, you do what you're supposed to do, but the security you were promised feels like a mirage. You see others who seem to have it figured out, and the comparison just amplifies the feeling that you're failing at something fundamental. But what if the game itself is the problem, not your performance in it? Think about what money is supposed to represent. Freedom, safety, the ability to make choices. But does it feel like that for you? Or does it feel like a report card on your value as a person? Every expense is a decision you second-guess. A simple dinner with friends becomes a complex calculation of what you'll have to give up later. The joy is instantly followed by guilt. It's a constant state of negotiation with yourself, a battle between what you need and what you can justify. And it's exhausting. We talk about income and expenses, but we rarely talk about the emotional cost of managing it all. The mental bandwidth it consumes is enormous. Every day you're a full-time accountant for a company of one, and the stakes feel impossibly high. This constant cognitive load isn't something our grandparents had to deal with in the same way. The sheer volume of small financial decisions, subscriptions, automatic payments, and digital transactions creates a never-ending stream of micro-stress, and it builds. What you're really chasing isn't just a bigger number in your bank account. You're chasing a feeling of quiet. The ability to breathe without that tightness in your chest. The freedom to just exist for a moment without calculating the cost of that existence. This is the real currency you're short on, peace of mind. And that's something a simple raise at work doesn't automatically provide, which is a scary thought, isn't it? The pressure isn't just internal, it's everywhere. We live in a world that constantly shows us what we don't have. It's not just the luxury cars or sprawling houses. It's the curated experiences, the perfect morning routines, the effortless productivity of others. Your life becomes a backdrop to someone else's highlight reel, and it makes your own struggles feel like a personal failing. You're told to budget better, to save more, to invest wisely. But this advice ignores the fact that your willpower is a finite resource, and it's being drained every second of every day. So you try to optimize. You download the apps, you read the books, you listen to the podcasts. You try to turn your financial life into a perfectly efficient machine, but life isn't a machine. A surprise medical bill, a sudden car repair, a friend in need, these things don't fit into a spreadsheet. And when they happen, the carefully constructed system collapses, and the shame comes rushing back in. You feel like you failed the test again. But maybe it was a test you were never meant to pass in the first place. Let's be honest for a moment. Part of the stress is the uncertainty. It's not just about surviving this month. It's the gnawing fear about next year, about 10 years from now, about retirement. The path is no longer clear. The old promises of a stable career and a comfortable old age feel like relics from a different era. You're navigating a dense fog with no map, and everyone is telling you to just walk more confidently. It feels isolating because admitting this fear feels like admitting weakness. We believe more money will buy us more time. That's the dream, right? The ability to work less, to spend more time on hobbies, with family, just being. But often, the path to more money demands more of our time. Longer hours, more responsibility, more stress. You end up trading your present for a future that might never arrive. You're sacrificing your life today for the hope of being able to live it tomorrow. It's a paradox that keeps you trapped. The solution becomes part of the problem. Think about the feeling of being on. You're always connected, always available, always performing. Your work life bleeds into your personal life. Your phone is a constant source of both income and anxiety. This lack of clear boundaries means you're never truly at rest. Your mind is always partially occupied with work, with emails, with the next task, with the financial implications of it all. This state of constant, low-level alert is incredibly draining. It depletes the very energy you need to think clearly and make good decisions, especially about something as complex as money. This isn't about being bad with money. It's about being a human in an inhuman system. A system that values productivity over well-being, growth over stability, and individual achievement over collective support. You're made to feel like a single entrepreneur of your own life, solely responsible for your market value. When did living become so transactional? Every choice feels like it has a return on investment that must be calculated. The pressure to constantly improve, to monetize your hobbies, to build a personal brand, it turns your own life into a project to be managed, rather than a journey to be experienced. What you're really missing isn't just money, it's slack. The space between things. The room for error. The ability to have a bad week without it turning into a financial catastrophe. The freedom to be unproductive without feeling guilty. The system we live in is designed for maximum efficiency, with no room for the messises of being human. And so you try to be a perfect, efficient robot, and you punish yourself when you fail. But you were never meant to be a robot. People expect a bigger paycheck to solve their anxiety. They imagine a life where they can finally relax. But for many who get there, a strange thing happens. The anxiety doesn't disappear, it just changes its target. It shifts from "can I pay my rent?" to "am I investing correctly?" From "can I afford this vacation?" to "am I falling behind my peers?" The underlying feeling of insecurity remains. This tells us something crucial. The problem isn't just the amount of money. The problem is the feeling of being fundamentally unsafe. This constant, nagging feeling of financial insecurity is a form of chronic stress. And chronic stress changes how you think. It shortens your time horizon, making it harder to plan for the future. It makes you more risk-averse, less creative, and less open to new experiences. It puts you in a permanent state of defense, just trying to protect what you have. It slowly shrinks your world until all you can see are the threats. And in that state, it's impossible to feel joy or contentment. So you find yourself caught, trapped between the societal expectation to be successful and the personal feeling of never being enough. You work harder, but you feel poorer. You earn more, but you feel less free. You are more connected than ever, yet you feel completely alone in this struggle. You carry this burden silently, convinced it's your own personal secret, your own private failure. And after all this running, all this fighting, all this stress, when was the last time you truly felt at rest?